Dan Morrison, hello.
Sam Cremane, how are you?
Look, it's a big week for gay rights.
Abracadabra.
We're now living in a post-Abracadabra world. How are you feeling?
Great. I'm happy for her. Look, first of all, I didn't hate disease. But this is
neither.
This is even better.
Who did?
Some gays.
Some girlies? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But look,
I like disease even more now as well because you can kind of jump between the two back to back.
Yeah. Beautiful. And do you know what? My only problem I had with disease, and I would say this to everyone, I was like, she needs some girlies dancing around her. Like, I was like, she needs a few dancers behind her. And I said that would have probably like elevated the whole thing. And she listened.
Did she hear your prayers,
Yeah,
Dad? She was like, do you know what? I'm going to do that on fucking steroids. Yeah.
It was great to see it because it felt very like old, not old Gaga, but just like...
It's like every Gaga in one. It's like a mashup of all of the best bits. You've got some good Gagas and ooh-la-las in there, which I'm a fan of.
The amount of reactions I've seen on TikTok, people lose their minds when she says throws in a little Gaga in there. Everyone's like, oh, she said it.
She's doing that again.
Yeah.
It's so...
She's back.
We will just, as a people, just collectively roll on our backs.
But
for that,
it's gonna be a harsh change listening to that album and hearing "Die with a Smile" come on at some point as well. That's really
it's confirmed on there.
I believe so. So we're gonna have Disease, Abracadabra, and "Die with a Smile." Having said that, I do understand it's like her biggest song essentially now, which really pains me. But I guess it has to be there, but not for me.
Yeah, not for me either. Maybe it'll be a really long album and there'll be enough space for like everyone to be there. But yeah, I would prefer, like, why? I mean, I get why, because it's broken records or whatever.
She should have shown that, like, thrown that onto Harlequin to help that album.
Honestly, I don't know if that could have been helped.
No, that wasn't for me either. But look, she's back, so congrats.
Yeah, and like she was the only good part of that movie, but it still didn't quite do it for me.
Oh, I have not indulged yet. Because I feel like I heard so many poor reviews that I couldn't bring myself to do it. No,
it's frustrating, especially. I mean, and look, finally, we can rejoice this week because also in gay rights related news, Boston Rob is finally no longer with us.
Oh, R.I.P.
But that
it's
movie...
like all our complaining worked.
I know, but something about Joker 2, it was like, it's a bit of a incel love letter in a way. In this way where I'm like, cool, maybe it is tongue-in-cheek, but just knowing that there's someone out there like planning a school shooting, watching that movie and like rubbing one out, I'm kind of like, nah, I can't support this.
That's fair. And that's something you should stand behind, Sam.
But it's got those vibes, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I'm not going to rush to watch then.
No. I feel like they rushed it out of cinemas as well. It was like straight to streaming.
Oh, yeah, it was in and out in a flash. So, anyway.
And now I need to circle back with you because it was on my homework list to get into Southern Hospitality upon your recommendation. And thank you so much for introducing me to this world.
Isn't it great? It's very like early VPR vibes.
Yes. It's a very good looking cast. There's a great mix of like just absolute dumb babies that are all trying to self-produce, but it's just like not working.
They're not smart enough to self-produce. You know what I mean? Like they're all just like they don't have it, so it just kind of comes off a bit like messy, which is great. Did you jump straight into the latest season, or have you?
Yeah. I'll go back eventually. Yeah. Joe Bradley is just perfect for television. He is the quintessential dumb baby, just clueless straight guy, just bumbling through this earth.
Yeah,
getting what he wants.
Lovely looking man, but just like nothing going on up there. Not a thing.
Nothing. But he's not hateable like a Sandoval. Like, because it's not, he's so stupid. It's like there's a stupid innocence. And I've got to give him props for handling the whole TJ situation, because that could have gone like differently.
Yeah, like he could have been very, I guess, like
gay
homophobic
panic.
about or yeah, like just, you know, got his like straight back up kind of thing. But he actually, there was somehow some nuance to it, which was great. It was like, actually, yeah.
I think I was expecting.
Yeah, it was a weird conversation, though. I feel like I still don't really understand what happened in that situation.
I need to know what happened.
Is your understanding?
Was it a handy?
Yeah, my understanding was like they were drunk one night, they went to bed together, they were kind of spooning, and I don't know what level of spooning it got to. That's where I'm kind of like, it's like in the black about that.
Look, it is taking me back to high school, because I feel like that's when, do you know what I mean? Like, we all had a straight friend that, you know, when they were drunk, they were a little bit more like into it. And then the next day we're like, oh, no. Like, we, you know, it's such a part of the gay experience. But to see it on our screens like now is quite strange.
Yeah, and also like, not like, I'm not being ageist because TJ is only like mid-30s, but there just seems such an age gap between some of the people there, like as in like TJ kind of going after Michaels at the beginning of the season, this like 21-year-old. I also, the thing I absolutely love, they've given a 21-year-old the title of general manager for all these people who are like much older than him. It would,
but he is. Did you ever work in hospitality, Dan?
No, I did not.
Because so Michaels, he is every manager of every bar, like when back in the day working in hospital, you always had a manager that was younger than you, more into it than you, and like the power goes straight to their head. It's like, it's amazing. Yeah, he's such a fastidious little gay, isn't he?
He's good though. I actually like. He's a very good addition. He's a good addition. So like, because I've like, there wasn't even a hint of him before this season. Now he's just like come out of nowhere being like GM. But like, I'm happy for his presence. So and now, even though weirdly, I can't stand people when they get a boyfriend that's like mainly off like camera or something. But he's still like fun and in the mix and like not annoying. Which
that boyfriend is punching too. Like Michaels is a very good looking boy, and that other guy is just like a random white guy. Like,
he's punching if he can reach him, Sam. Like the height difference between those two is quite startling. Like it actually looked like a crime when they were like standing beside the pool and Michaels was like making out with him looking down. I was like, oh no. Oh, okay, that's the boyfriend. There we go.
Yeah. But Michaels is a little bit damaged, which is also perfect for Bravo. Like hot and damaged, and just like, yeah, let's work through that live on screen.
I know, but how much true damage can you have at 21? Isn't that just being 21?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like, you know, he's got a shit homophobic mum, and then also like being black and gay in the South, still not great. So there's that. I buy all that trauma.
Yeah, I wouldn't wish that upon anyone being in Charleston in that situation.
No. But I like that he's risen above, and he's just like, well, I'm going to be like a cunty, like manager of this questionable establishment. It's great.
He's doing a great job. And are you enjoying Emmy and her not waterproof mascara when she's having breakdowns?
Give Emmy an Emmy. Like, seriously, these performances are like wild. That first one, what did she say? Like,
I'm a good person.
What's the line? This is what I get for being a good person. That was like, put that on a t-shirt. That was a great line. The mascara running down.
And like somehow that's funnier than like the actual like breakdowns about like, you know, the cheating rumors and stuff about her, like her boyfriend shit talking it, because like that whole argument was about her having a discount at a store where they were buying their uniforms from, and she was like skimming some like money off the discount. I was like, beautiful. This is like, that's what makes it feel like early VPR. It's just like the stakes are so low and these people are losing their minds.
And it's also like a legit thing. Like I can imagine that happening like in my friendship group, and like everyone being like, oh, did you transfer that person for the tickets or whatever? And they're like, you know, the price online was different from what they are. Like, it's so stupid. And she clearly did it, because no one gets that defensive if they didn't do something.
No, and I love that she just goes 0 to 100 every time. And like, have you watched this week's episode?
No, as in like yesterday or whatever.
Yeah, not yesterday. Yeah, but you'll see in the preview for next week, because the cheating rumors about Will that have been swirling around get brought to the table. And you can
Finally.
tell that she does not handle it well at all. And immediately is
Mm.
in screaming, like classic Emmy mode. So we're going to get some more of that. I just love that she cannot control any emotion, any of those situations. Like she just fires up, runs away, screams. I'm like, great.
Yeah, it's good. I like it more than, say, like a Summer House show, because I like the pretense of them working a bit more. It's a bit more below deck, so I can get into it.
And you believe they need the job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you see their apartments and stuff, and it's like, okay.
Sam, even though Lake's family are clearly well off, like they've got that lovely lake house, when they showed the outdoor shot of Lake's house, it looked like it was on stilts. Like, those like, when you're at Dreamworld,
it was giving Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, you're on one of those cruise ships, and the town is stood up on like stilts there. I'm like, that was Lake's house. It like looks like not real, and I was like, that OH&S is non-existent in that apartment building. I was so scared for her.
What is Lake doing there? Like, her CV was quite impressive. She's like this established artist, and she's so cool. I really like Lake, but then she's like working at this place. I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
And clearly comes from money as well. And I'm just like, oh, just get your parents to set you up like somewhere better. Like, just do you meant for more.
Yeah, I'm like,
you meant for more than this. Anyway,
she's
hot. It's been great.
Into her, and I love the guy that's just all abs. Is it Austin? And they've clearly just put him. I love it. He's just there to be just shredded, and like it's just a rig that enters the shot and then leaves. I love it.
Sam,
so good.
I'm excited for you to watch this week's episode because you kind of he gets a lot more confessionals, and you get an insight into his mind. And
I don't know if I want that, but sure.
No, but he's a loon. He's an absolute loon. So that's what I'm just like, I can't, like he's talking about for like him getting back into his relationship with some kind of like meeting on certain planes or something like that. And he's just,
that's a bit Joe Rogan.
Great.
I mean, the red flag should have been the log workouts. That's giving, breath work.
Look, beautiful man. But yeah,
absolutely.
As the women said on the show, like, oh, isn't he beautiful? I wish you could just like swap out his personality for something else. I'm like, right.
Exactly. And we had the dramatic conclusion of SLC this week.
They should have had Brittany Bateman out from midway through part 2.
I know.
Like, an essential worker. She just crazy, but like in an amazing way. I can't believe she came out into that stage with conviction and was trying to say the reason I'm estranged
wasn't recording
from my
you.
Well, that is well.
That
like,
too.
She still hadn't even
tripled down on that. I was like, honey, no.
And everyone was kind of laughing at that point because like they even probably thought she'd probably just come out and be like, yeah, sorry, I was recording. I won't ever do that again. But no, she still couldn't get the story straight. But I thought the worst thing she did was like come out and try to blame Bronwyn for her being estranged from her daughters.
Crazy. Actually unhinged. But the bit when she's like, I don't get to like all the little side shots of her when it was like not filming or whatever. Her being like, do I not get an entrance? And like at the end with the beer, and she's like doing the cheers by herself in the corner. I was like, this is fabulous.
Yeah, and her going, like, it ended with her going, I want nice things said about me. That's not fair. And I was just, oh my God. It felt very
I want a pizza party.
Yeah, it also felt, remember, I think it was like Kim Zolciak's like return season on Atlanta, and she like left the stage at the end. She's like, you didn't say anything nice about me. And he was like, well, there was nothing like nice to be said. It was just like, she wasn't going to get a good moment because every scene she was in this season, she was unhinged. And it was just like, it was about Jared or it was about her being estranged from her daughter. Like that was it. There was two speeds, nothing else.
The announcements, like, I mean, I assume she's back. I hope she's back because we need more ding, ding, ding. Everybody, I have something to say.
I believe they've said everyone's back in the same capacity. So they've invited everyone back. Brittany is a friend. And I think the only person obviously not coming back is Melee, who disappeared from the face of the earth. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful girl. Right. Just nothing to add.
Yeah. I literally forgot about Melee.
So did the audience.
What happened to Angie H?
I think she fell.
Angies.
But didn't she just fall off the face of the earth after her bad like friend of season in season 3? Like as soon as like Jen Shah was like sent to jail, they kind of just went, okay, we're done with both you and what was it Di or Deanne. I can't remember her name. The other friend of that was with Angie.
Ah, that's right. They definitely auditioned quite a few ladies for the role,
And
which was good.
We got left with a gift that is Angie K now. Thank God.
What a fucking just absolute queen. Like, yeah, Time Person of the Year.
I also, the thing that destroyed me was Mary talking about she doesn't need like another wreck in her life, like talking about Brittany. It was just chef's kiss.
So good. I'm kind of sad it's finished for the year.
I know.
But excited to be back.
I think
that was a
beautiful season. And I think they're just throwing them straight back into production. They're churning those seasons out quickly. So I appreciate Bravo's work there.
And we've got more from Taylor Frankie Paul and her universe of Mormon wives to keep us satiated in the meantime.
Oh, that would, like, to be honest, that show kind of fell off towards the end for me. Like, it was fine.
It did.
But look, I was invested at the same time as well. Just wondering, you know, if Mom Talk's going to get through this.
I feel like she will deliver. Like, Taylor Frankie Paul knows this game and she will keep us entertained. I have faith.
Yeah, and as do they.
Shall we talk about the Traitors?
Oh, please. The Traitors are dead.
Finally. We fucking did it. But
I wasn't quickly this turned around. Like, we were just like, we're begging for this. Like, we're like, something's going to change, and somehow just like the axe swung and we've just like gone back to a perfect show.
It was well edited though, because I did think for 90% of the episode that it was going to continue to be the Boston Rob show, because I thought he was doing it again.
I thought he was playing it really well, like to the point that I thought Brittany was up for it, and I was just like, oh god, that like literally he's played it so well again. But yeah, so I was actually on the edge of my seat until the end. So, but I'm happy we ended up where we did.
Yeah, it feels like the game can actually like start now that Boston Rob's foot is no longer on my neck.
On everyone's neck. Like, that was like, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but that I was at that round table going, we can't do this again. We can't do this again.
I'm not doing it one more time. Yeah.
No, and I was just like, all of you must be tired as well. But like, thank
some
God
of those votes, some of those round table votes. Chriselle, girl, what the fuck are you doing?
Dylan needs to be thrown out of the turret.
Oh my god, Dylan! I did like little baby Dylan with his tail between his legs at the end of the episode. Like, they're like, "Yeah, you were a pawn." And he's like, "Was I? I thought Boston Rob was my new big brother, and we were gonna be besties."
And I'm sorry, not in a million years did I think our hero for this episode would turn out to be Tom Sandoval.
I mean, was he? I feel like we definitely were, presented with that. I don't know. I feel like there may have been some chats we didn't see. Did he really lead the charge? I don't know.
He seems to think he did. So let's just... Well, in his world, he has, especially his little speech at the end.
I cannot wait to talk about that.
Okay. Well, shall we dive in?
Start at the turret. This was the awkward... I mean, the turrets to date, since Boston Rob rocked up, have been awkward as fuck. And this one was no exception. And the way he just like was like, oh, so we're doing Derek, and they're all like, no. Danielle is like, absolutely not. We are not doing Derek.
But I also knew as soon as he said like Derek's name, I was like, well, he's going to get Derek, because like every time the first person he suggested that he wants, he gets every time. Like, no matter even if the like Carolyn or Danielle kind of put up a small fight at the beginning, he always gets his way. So I knew as soon as he said Derek, I'm like, well, okay, well, Derek's dead. Great. He's an idiot as well.
He's an idiot. But like we said last week, I was happy that they let him make this stupid choice, because it ultimately sent him home. Like, come on. Like, it added to the undeniable evidence that everyone that speaks out against Boston Rob gets murdered.
Killed. Yeah.
Plus, he's clearly threatened by gamers.
Oh, absolutely. But like, it's so weird because like, it seemed like he wanted, obviously, the girls to be on his side and like work together. But then he did that weird thing of like, when they were talking about like asking where the shields were, he was like, I'm not going to say who has it in my group. I was like,
the
why are you
fuck?
doing this? Like, you're like trying to make them
He's
stop like killing each
such
other.
a terrorist.
Yeah,
Like,
and he like
oh
wants
my
them to work
God.
together, but he's like, I'm not going to give you any information. Like good luck to you. So like, you're going to have to be forced to go.
But it was
someone
their
from your
fault.
side.
He's like, I'm
Yeah.
not telling you because I don't know. There's just like a clear distrust vibe in this turret. I'm like, yeah, from you taking traitors out week 1. Like, what?
Exactly. And you're not helping the situation. Like, yeah, the distrust's not going to end here if you're going to be like, well, I'm just going to withhold all this information and force you to like kill someone from your group. Was Derek in their group? Like, they knew that he didn't have a shield, so they were kind of like,
I don't know. I'm not paying that much attention to
no,
the
because I was
shields.
going to say, then he's like, trying to paint a target on their back? Like, it's just, anyway, he's
literally
untracked
when he said the thing about not sharing the shield deets, I literally just looked at the screen and I went, what a cunt.
Yeah.
Like, what a cunt. Oh, and then Carolyn and Danielle are clearly, not seeing eye to eye either. But it's a shame because they should have been this whole time. It was always 2 against 1, but they let him just decide.
It's like it wasn't clicking for them. Like, also as well, I was hoping we get like a little confessional moment from either like Carolyn or Danielle going, do you know what? I'm going to let him go for Derek because he's just going to paint a target on his back and I want him gone. So this would be the best thing for us. Like, if he does kill Derek, then everyone will know it's him. Like, it could have been, I would have liked to have heard that commentary. Like, I don't doubt Carolyn didn't have that thought in her mind, but it seems like you're not getting like the wheels turning in their head enough. It seems like they're just literally rolling over for Boston Rob every time he opens his mouth.
And like, I feel like in Boston Rob's mind, it's because he's so awesome and cool and everyone loves him. But it's really because everyone's just like, oh, I don't want to piss him off because he'll chuck a tantrum.
He's also impossible. He's impossible to argue with as well. And it's just like, of course you just roll over and die. Because it's like insufferable to have a conversation with.
It's like a petulant child. Hey, do you know what else we got though during this turret, which we asked for last week?
Sam?
Sexy shots of Sam Ashgari and followed up by Dylan. It was a muscle calendar presentation of Sam Ashgari just pumping iron and then Dylan Efron just getting into bed. It was softcore porn.
Well, there is a gay producer producing these scenes every time. He literally put his hand up at the start of the season of production and said, "I'll be the bedroom guy."
Yeah. So I've got the lighting ready for the bedtime shots.
Yeah. And that's his one role. But do you know what? He's killing it.
Killing it. Because I was just picking my jaw off the floor from the Sam Ashgari slow-mo shot, and then the Dylan one popped up, and I was like,
yeah. The Dylan one was too short-lived, I felt. I was just like,
too
oh,
short.
no.
Yeah. I want the full uncut tape.
A trade is up late.
Traitors up late with Alan Cumming sitting on a stiletto a la Gretel.
Yeah. Beautiful.
That'd be great. Yeah, so we had that. And that was a good omen signaling to the viewers that homosexual viewers, we see you and we understand.
Yeah. They know their audience.
Yeah. And that good things are coming. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
But so Boston Rob throwing out these names. Who else did he throw out? It's like Derek and then Sam and then Dylan. And I'm like, what? Like, why?
I know. Is he just threatened by men? Like none of them made sense because like Dylan is his like loyal person. So I'm just like, why would you get rid of the one person who like weirdly believes every word that comes out of your mouth at the moment? Like, it's just, there's no strategy. Or maybe he just like was literally, it's going to be Derek, so he didn't give a shit who else he was saying. It's just kind of like probably throwing things out there just so that the girls wouldn't agree with it, and then he was getting his way with Derek.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he just, wants to do what he wants to do. Unfortunately, Boston Rob's way. At Brecky, oh my God, fucking Gabby with this Ivar thing.
This was perfect. Saying she doesn't think Ivar's going to show up, and just like doing the whole speech and everyone's eyes darting around. So
he was like the first person to arrive at breakfast with Brittany, and Brittany's like, Ivar's just kind of like there. He's a part of the furniture.
Yeah, he's not saying a thing. But then Iva like alerting Gabby to his presence, and she goes, "Oh my god, I'm dead." I love her.
So funny. Yeah, she's fantastic. But also that's the level of gameplay we're talking about here.
Yeah. Oh, we've got the smartest people in the room now. But also, my favorite thing every morning is seeing the disappointment in people's eyes when Tom Sandoval shows up every time. Like they're just, like everyone's just praying for that guy to get murdered. And you can just see the eye rolls every time he comes into the room, which I hope he just stays on for a bit longer, just so I can see that a few more times.
Well, I hope he doesn't get murdered this week. I feel like he might, but I really want to see him put up a fight at the round table. Like I want to see him get really pissed off about being accused as being a traitor.
Yeah, and I also want him just to double down again, thinking he knows exactly who it is, and also be 100% wrong. Like I would like to see that play out. Like I want this newfound confidence to go in the complete like wrong direction.
And bite him in the butt. I feel like, yeah, either way, I think Sandoval's days are numbered.
Absolutely. I do feel even though they edited it quite well at the end, I feel like his reaction turning around was possibly the nail in the coffin for him.
Yeah. But I do love the face-to-face kill. That's going to be exciting.
Yes.
Very camp. Yeah. And then when Boston Rob and Dylan walked in, which was perfect production choice because it's like showing Boston Rob in his little pawn, like slinking into breakfast at the end and then being like, oh my God, what is it? Like, oh, it's Derek? No way. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's a shocking actor as well. he's not meant for this.
Yeah. Derek's been murdered. Yeah.
Danielle needs to cool it with the emotions at these, like she's also gored next if she keeps like up this like I know she actually gave a shit about Derek, so there was actually some truth to it, but then it also just paints her as like so goddamn guilty.
Danielle is fucking uncooked. Like, how is she still there? I just, that first week with her over the top reactions at breakfast, no one clocked that. Like, what the fuck?
I feel now with Boston Rob gone, because he was such a distraction, she will be left out in the open now. So she's not long for dear Danielle.
And then hopefully we get some recruitment. There's surely got to be some recruitment this season.
Oh, yeah. I feel like the only reason they couldn't have done it tonight because they had the pre-set up like murder thing, so they couldn't choose to like pull someone out to recruit. So yeah, I think next week they'll give them the option to recruit someone.
They are stretching it. Like, I like to see, at least we got some kind of murder choice stuff at the end of this episode, but it's, I don't know.
I really want to see the death match from the UK version. I really would like it doesn't have to be next week because I know they did like the weird murder this time, but I'd love to see like in a couple of weeks' time that death match thing. I feel like that was like nice high stakes.
Well, we've really veered off track from the UK format though this time.
Which is probably why I think I enjoyed this episode a bit more, because I felt like I was actually watching a whole new episode for once, which was nice.
Yes. So we get the flashback to the turret, seeing Danielle and Carolyn roll over for the Derek murder, which is just... Yeah, and I was like, my bandwidth for this shit was just at capacity. I was like, I can't do this one more time. So,
yeah.
I'm glad it's the last one.
Enjoyed Alan calling them crumpet munchers. That was that tickled me when he came in.
Crumpet munchers was great. Yeah, the team are doing great work.
He also was looking extremely like Righteous Gemstones as well, in that like white outfit he like trotted in on.
Oh, the wedding outfit. That was stunning. Because last week we had some flop outfits, but we're back. We're back this week.
Yeah, there was some, I would say, some interesting choices for the rest of the teams. Today wasn't a huge fan of Tom Sandoval's suit, but I feel that also
the steampunk hat.
But it also feels like something he would wear to one of those terrible parties on VPR anyway, so it felt very him.
Oh, he picked that. They definitely had like a styling situation, but I feel like his voice was heavily involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dylan is so far up Boston Rob's asshole that I want someone to write like a whole thesis about it, and how like being a younger brother in the spotlight has contributed to Dylan Efron's views of masculinity, and like there's a whole, you could really
It's a university
psychoanalyze
course
this.
on it. Yeah.
Because yeah, he's a famous little brother, and I'm like, you're just doing that now with Boston Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, you've like latched on to the exact same, dynamic that you're used to in your everyday life.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And then I realized that thankfully it turns out differently, but this season was starting to mirror Australia season 2 with old mate.
Yeah, Sam was like, Boston Rob was becoming the Sam of this season.
Mm. But clearly, yeah, not as good / the faithful maybe were just stupider. I don't know.
Yeah, hard to think they were dumber than Tom Sandoval. But here we are.
Oh my God. Brittany and Danielle have a little kiki. Their relationship is so confusing.
Yeah, I'm now almost interested to go back to the lore of Big Brother to see exactly what the betrayal was. Like, I need to see, because they seem to be quite happy now that they've come a long way. Like, even when they were like dancing later on in the episode, I was just like, oh, like there's something here between them. But I feel like I must know now what actually happened in this betrayal.
Well, I love Danielle because she's so fucking like all over the place. She's simultaneously holding this grudge with Brittany. She's like, yeah, Brittany's my girl, but she did me dirty and I'll never forget it. But then with Carolyn, she's like, later on in the turret with Carolyn, she's like all over the shop pleading for forgiveness and like, let's start again. And Carolyn's like, nah, girl, like you fucked me. Like, it's like, Danielle, shut up.
Yeah, it's like she literally changes like emotions every day. Like, she seems like very set on a certain way of thinking, then she'll just like absolutely backflip. I don't know if maybe it's a condition of being in the game and you just like lose your mind in that place, but she is all over the shop.
Yeah, there's a lot of contradictions taking place for poor Danielle, but I do love she reminds us every episode that Brittany fucked her over. It's like, okay,
we know.
Don't know how, but and I kind of wish they had the rights to like all of the footage,
flashbacks.
Yeah,
yes,
I want into like show flashbacks.
Yeah, I always want, because they reference stuff so much, and I'm just like, oh God, like just if you can pay a little bit more for the rights. I just want to see like Danielle and Brittany screaming at each other during Big Brother season 3 or whenever it was.
Because I don't want to have to watch it, and I'm not going to. It's
Search is too much. Just give it to me.
I'm sure it's all on Daily Motion or something, like a playlist of like Big Brother from 2003 or whenever it was. Fuck. Yeah. So Sandoval can't help himself, and he jumps in on this Dylan Efron and Boston Rob little boys club. But to his credit, this is where we get Tom being like, well, Boston Rob, there's also heat on you. Which I was like, I was impressed by that he did it to his face, because everyone else is too scared. I
was going to say that. I don't know where he like grew these balls from, where he was sitting there like looking. And he like also he's like, I know I'm a faithful, like I trust me. And then he was like to Dylan in front of Rob, like, I trust you. They made it quite clear that he's not going. He didn't say I don't trust you, but his like silence when he didn't turn to him like spoke so much. And I was just like, I was like, well done. Like, well done to you. I like didn't expect it from him whatsoever. And also just because he's been so horribly wrong for so long now as well.
So wrong. But then even more frustrating is Dylan being like, oh yeah, but wait, I've got this tea from Derek from Beyond the Grave. Just before Derek got murdered, he said to me, like, it's definitely Brittany. And I think he said something about Boston Rob, but don't worry about that. Like, he just completely omits the Boston Rob bit and just jumps to Brittany. And I'm like, Derek also said Boston Rob, mate. You can't take one and like forget about the other one.
Yeah, if you're trying to say like Derek's statement has weight, you've got to listen to both names that were said.
Mm. But that's the power of bromance, you know. Oh.
Also, sorry, that scene of just before they had that conversation, Tom walking out with his like little cup of tea, like walking into like Boston Rob, and Dylan walking past, and then just like not knowing what to do, like them just like fully ignoring him and him walking in.
He like
Beautiful
walks
comedy.
like an old man, Tom Sandoval. He's like hobbling around the house.
He also just seems like, I don't know, like uncomfortable in his own body sometimes. Like he just seems a bit like, oh, like I don't like there's nothing, he never feels natural in a moment. Like it's always he's like on edge to a certain degree.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, look, it's not who I thought who was going to lead this charge. You know, the fourth horseman of the apocalypse to take out. To take out.
Not all heroes wear capes, but some wear top hats. So.
But look, I'll take it. And it's, I like to think that a producer put him up to it or something, and he actually didn't come up with this on his own. But maybe
stranger things have happened.
Okay, so Alan's getting married. He rocks up in the gorgeous white lurk with these stretch Hummer cars. It's an expensive show.
Yeah, I have to give props to like the art department, production design for this episode. Like both this and then also the final scene as well. Like they're doing amazing. Like they want that second Emmy. Like they're kind of like going, we need best editing or best product. Like they're like going for it. So and look, it looks great.
And there's a gay intern somewhere being shouted at, like, light more candles. We need more candles. We need more black roses. Like, it's so gauche. I really liked the black roses and them getting split into these groups. How did this work? I was a bit confused. Was it random or did they pick?
So I think the couples chose each other like off camera, strangely, because I think you saw a few of them kind of trying to pair up, like when Danielle and Brittany kind of said it to each other earlier, but you didn't see all of them pair up. Because like I would have loved to have seen the conversation how Boston Rob and Sierra got together. Like that would have been fun to see. But then what do you call it? Alan had the roses with both the pairs on them, so I think he was randomly pulling them out, and they got paired together from that.
Yeah, it was awkward, but. Yeah, also just them all rocking up in these wedding outfits as well was a bit like, sorry, like could have done with a few shots of them like getting ready, would have been cute.
I think you're just looking for another moment, a Dylan and Sam getting into a suit moment.
Maybe. I did love Lord Ivar getting paired with Sam. That was fun. Like he must have been happy with that.
Yeah, the two mutes.
Exactly. And I like how they set this challenge up because, look, I know on this pod we're not huge fans of the missions, but this one I can fuck with.
I also was like, don't know why. I just found myself like screaming at the TV. I was like, oh no. Like my one thing is I hate snakes, so like I knew there was going to be some introduction of a snake at some point. Obviously, that was like the kind of finale bit, but I was like,
it was everything. They got all of it. I thought it was just going to be like some spiders or whatever, but it was literally like every bug, every snake, like amazing.
Yeah, it was very I'm a celeb in the jungle kind of like
it was
challenge.
Very, very I'm a celeb. Oh fuck! But they're in the Scottish Highlands. Where the fuck did they get those pythons?
Well, there might be a zoo nearby, and I have no idea. Dog.
Like
a reptile park.
It's that is a cold place. I don't know. I was impressed.
I enjoyed the little Tom and Dylan pairing. Actually, it was a bit like it was strange, but I was like, "Oh, this is cute." It was like Kiss
cute.
when they were like walking down the aisle.
Yeah. And just Sandoval's hat getting filled up with like crickets.
That had the best visuals, I have to say. Like when they got poured down on top of him, and his like top hat caught all the bugs. I was like, "Oh, that actually looks amazing."
It was great. And Brittany calling the mealworms non-consensual. I loved that.
What did Chriselle say? This is worse than my first wedding.
Did she? I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh my
They
god.
didn't.
Yeah.
Poor Dolores. Dolores was not happy. I like when she just turned after they like jumped out like immediately, and Dolores was like, not good.
Nope. Yeah, Chriselle is not giving me what I wanted from her on this show. Like this week, she's so wrong, and she's not really loud, but she's just kind of like, following around the wrong people.
I know, but I have to say, Sam, it gives me so much joy just watching her vote for Tom like just how much she hates Tom. It's just if I can do anything in this game, I'll get revenge for Ariana and get him off the show.
It's kind of virtue signaling, isn't it? Because she just wants us at home. She's more thinking about the viewers being like, fuck yeah, get rid of that disgusting
Get him,
worm
girl.
with a mustache. Yeah, get him. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's like, just play the game, babe.
That visual of Dolores with the veil on, but with like the white goggles like over the top, she looked insane.
Well, we should have known something was up when they gave them the goggles. I was like, but it's all contained in a little box, and then we get the drop.
Raining diamonds.
Beautiful. This was a good episode for Dolores, actually. Her speech at the end, I was like, fuck yes.
Mafia Mama, I love her.
Mafia Mama came to play this week. Oh, yeah. So what did they won money, and then it was like, if you lasted the distance, you get an opportunity to do a little extra shield mission with the rings. Is that how it worked?
Yeah, so it's like if you got the ring out, you're protected from murder. So whoever you're paired up against, whoever didn't win, was automatically up for murder.
Mm-hmm.
I did like Tom during the challenge saying to Alan, he was like, "I'll try anything once," and then Alan's like, "Don't threaten me with a good time." Like that was, I like that little like back and forth. It was cute.
So good. And who won the shields? Sam and Ivor.
Sam and Ivor, Boston, Rob, and Sierra won by default because Dolores and Chriselle jumped out so quickly. And then who was the other two? Danielle and Brittany as well.
Yeah, just something about this show, like, because it's just different every time how they do everything. So it's like kind of hard to follow sometimes. And I'm also just a bit like, whatever about the shields.
I know, but then also I was kind of like, I didn't want Ivor and Sam to win. Like, even though I love a Sam about to be murdered shot, I just find them so boring that I would have actually liked them to be up for murder. Because I was like, actually, I don't need you in the house because you add nothing. So like the people who are up for murder, I was like, I don't really want to lose like any of you. Like you're like all entertaining enough that I'm just like, I'd rather would have like someone else from that other group be up for murder. Anyway.
Before the round table, Boston Rob is up to his usual bullshit. He like throws out Brittany's name everywhere and then like totally lies to Danielle. He's like, people are just saying Brittany. I'm like, you are saying Brittany.
Yeah, and you could also tell, like, when they were getting the food from inside, like, the breakfast room thing, and he was like, yeah, everyone's going for Brittany, we're going for Brittany. You could see Danielle just stopped for a second and kind of looked at him, and she was just like, I don't like this guy. Like, she was like, I'm done.
Yeah, totally. But it's so weird with Danielle. Like, yeah, she told us in confessionals, like, first my plan is I'm going to take out Carolyn for what reason, we don't know. And then I'm going to recruit someone and we're going to take out the Godfather. Like, that was her plan. And then we've never heard anything about that since. And now she just sort of is there sucking up to Boston Rob still, but sometimes not. It just... Whew.
Do you think her fear is because she is such like kind of like an unhinged person? The fact that Carolyn is also a bit of a like unstable person, that freaks her out because she already has that energy. She probably needs like grounding forces around her to keep her kind of like settled. But the fact that Carolyn's a bit like loopy and stuff, she's probably like, I can't work with this woman. Like she's crazy.
Yeah, maybe. But I think Carolyn is a self-aware, unhinged person, and Danielle is not. I think Danielle thinks she is like killing it in the turret.
And then everyone else is looking like as soon as Bossa Rob's gone, the heat's going to be on her immediately. Like it's not going to work out for poor Danielle.
Oh, I can't wait for her roundtable moment where she's going to be like, what? Yeah. Someone sent me a clip from like the Traitors Poland or something where, have you seen this? Where like at the round table, one of the traitors just says like, I'm a traitor. And then it cuts to the host. It's so good. I'll send it to you.
Wait, so like the people are going around like deliberating, and he just says, "I'm a traitor," while they're at the table.
It's this woman. She's just like, oh, I'm a traitor. And then it cuts to the host, and the host is literally like, what? I don't know what we do now. It's like the game gets broken.
Amazing. Please send me that afterwards.
Really
Would love to see the chaos.
It's just like, it's just like, who cast this person? So good. But I feel like Danielle would do that. Like, I feel like
she's close to.
She's close to just being like, all right, it's me. I confess.
Wait till next week. It might happen soon.
We can only hope. Yeah. So at the round table,
Ellen scares Carolyn coming in.
Oh, yeah.
he's kind of like walking and talking. Carolyn's like, has her back to him and freaks out. It's great.
Yeah, she's so jumpy. Old Carolyn. Dylan pipes up first because he's got tea from Derek to share. This is so funny when on this show when people are like, I spoke to this person just before they got murdered. And like in this case, he's beautiful little innocent Dylan and he means it. But like often it's just people saying bullshit because it's like that person's no longer with us. They can't confirm or deny.
Yeah. But then we also like, again, Boston Rob, I thought, again, compelling argument. Like, I think I was like won over when he started actually explaining himself and the whole, like, of course, like doing this will paint it on me and like how this all made sense. And then I actually found the most compelling part of his argument was talking about the guys coming in the 3K, just like by process of elimination, you'd think like it would be one of us. And that's obviously why it's painted like a target on our backs. And like maybe none of us are. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, this actually, that makes sense, Boston Rob. Like if I was in that room, I might agree with you.
He made some good points. I'll give him that. I think the framing angle was perfect. Like I'm being framed. It's too obvious. But I just don't think the people he's playing with are sort of on that level. I don't know. So it's like...
Also, strangely as well, like Sam, like, you know, the mute spoke up for once and also spoke up with complete sense for once as well. So like even if when you see the dummies catching on, you're like, oh God, it must be actually quite apparent in the room then if they're like starting to figure this out.
Well, Sam's been dropping the only time Sam speaks is to say, I think it's Boston Rob. I think he did like the last 2 weeks and everyone's just kind of like, okay. Like, no.
Okay, cutie.
Like,
okay, cutie. Thanks.
Like maybe if we were listening to Sam this whole time.
Imagine.
Yeah. But it's what he's saying, but more importantly, it's how he's saying it. And it's the Donald Trump of Boston Rob, just speaking with such conviction about just, wild theories. And I think he intends to confuse people. So they don't really get what's happening, but they're like, oh yeah, it sounds like a good argument.
Yeah.
It's a good approach.
It is. No. And I would possibly work on me if I was in that room because I was kind of like, because I like, honest to God, before the vote started coming out, I was really 50-50 if it was going to be Britney or Boston Rob at this point. So maybe it might have been like amazing editing, but I was just like, this seems close.
And the bit that blew my mind was like when they sort of first start to look at Boston Rob again. And who was it? I think it was like, was it Britney? No, it wasn't Britney. Someone was like, oh, Boston Rob's already defended himself. I think it might have been Chriselle. And I was like, what? That's not how this game works. Like,
yeah, it's almost like they've put it to bed now.
Put it to bed. Talked about,
yeah.
Like you can't ever, no one is ever fully confirmed as a faithful. So you can't just go, oh no, we know that. Like that's how dangerous and how good at manipulating Boston Rob is. That he had people defending him, saying, leave him alone. Like leave Boston Rob alone. Don't make him defend himself again. He did that last week. I'm like, yeah, and he'll do it again.
But having said that, maybe it's a mindset like in that house, like when they do a round table, if someone defends himself well, you kind of just stop. Because remember, oh God, now I know it's only been like 2 weeks since the UK finished, but fake Welsh girl who
No. Fuck, I
Charlotte?
can't remember her name. Charlotte? Yeah, it was Charlotte.
I want to say Charlotte. Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
remember, because before she was a traitor, she did that really big like defense talk at the beginning of the season, and because she did it so well,
True.
everyone just put that to bed for her for the rest of the season till the end when all the stuff kind of shit hit the fan. But she just got to pass the whole way through because she did a good argument at one point, and then obviously got recruited later. But maybe it's just weird Traitors game mindset that as soon as someone does like an empowered speech or something, they kind of like off the table for like the foreseeable, essentially. And I think that's what Boston Rob was kind of getting from some others, being like, no, he defended himself, he's good.
Yeah, and it almost made her this invincible traitor because, yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's like in everyone's minds, she was the lovely Welsh girl. Yeah, fuck, that season was good.
Loved it. That should... Do they do Emmys? A Brit Award. Give it that.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, exactly. One of those. Brittany with her Parvati ass headband. She's like so coming for Parvati's this week. I was like, what are you doing? Her defense was so shit. She just was like, guys, I am 100% faithful. Like that was her defense. Just saying that she was faithful.
The worst argument people can do, and I see this happen every season, like every few episodes, someone's like, oh, you're going to like hate when you eliminate me. And then I get up there and say I'm a faithful, and then you'll be here having like the same conversation again. I'm just like, well, that's not a defense saying like, oh, if you vote me out, you'll find out. Like, yes, that is the point of the game. Like you're going to vote someone out and find out if you are. But like your defense can't be, oh, you'll be disappointed when you find out I'm a faithful. Like that's it. But I did like, at least you did make the point. You're going to be having the same conversation again tomorrow night about Boston Rob, which is true. Like this, they keep, he's this one factor that you always are talking about at this table. Even if you do think he is a faithful, get rid of him just so you don't have to have this conversation again.
Take a shot. Like, exactly. And that's how this game works. Yet there has to be some collateral. You need to find out because in getting rid of people, you're also getting information. So either way, it would be helpful for them to know if Boston Rob is a traitor or not. So yeah, and that's why his game was flawed, because you can't make all these big disruptive moves at the start of the game because you actually need to keep heat off you for a sustained period to make it to the end. And he had heat on him from the start. So yeah, he kind of fucked it up with that. Couldn't help himself with the big moves.
And I just want to call out two of my favorite wild card votes from when we go around the table. So again, what I already mentioned, Chriselle going for Tom, just the pure hate there is just like amazing. And then Dylan, after bringing up Derek's argument about both Brittany and Boston Rob.
He brings up half of Derek's argument and just cherry picks the bit he likes.
And then still goes for Gabby. It's like Gabby just catching strays every time.
It's like, why bring up evidence and then say that you only like half of it, but then not actually use any of it? Like, come on, baby girl.
But I think he was so, like, after the actual elimination, I think you could see it kind of, like, wash over him again and go, oh, he was just, like, wool over his eyes, no idea what was going on this entire time. So hopefully he assesses himself after this and goes, okay, maybe I need to look elsewhere.
Thank God he's pretty, because, yeah, otherwise...
Not much else happening.
Not much else happening. Little cutie. Yeah, this round table was fun. And then I still thought, before the voting started, I was fully convinced Rob had done it again and that we were getting a Brittany banishment, which would have actually been quite fun. Like I almost wanted that, but also I'm really glad that we get to mix it up, because fuck me if we were here again next week having the same conversation about Boston Rob. Yeah. Oh my God. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
And so we got both Traitors turning on Boston Rob finally. So Carolyn voting for Boston, which I could kind of see coming, but I was still, again, sitting there waiting for Danielle's vote going, I don't know if like she's smart enough to do this or not, because it just seems, but also I was like, I just don't feel like she's going to vote for Brittany. I didn't know if she was just going to like burn her vote on someone else, but thank God we got a Boston Rob from her.
Yeah, I was screaming with every Boston Rob vote, like, yes, yes. And then the random ones coming through, I was like, what the fuck?
Sorry, Dolores also going for Tom as well.
There's just this. It's actually quite a small group now. Like we have really, we're more than halfway through the season. there's a small group. There's not enough people there to just throw out a random vote anymore. Like, come on, guys. You need to actually pick a side.
Yeah, but I feel like people are just still hanging on to their personal vendettas from like outside, which is like, it's entertaining, but it's not going to help you in the end. Like, you'll be gone if you're useless, essentially.
Yeah. But Dylan voting Gabby, that took the cake as a true what the fuck moment.
But then also, like, Gabby voting for Boston Rob, and then as he was, like, getting up, like, they're like, oh, he got the most votes, and she just, like, who'd she turn to and go, like, Tom or something? She goes, I think he's a faithful.
What? Yeah,
Then why are you voting for him?
If I was in that game and did not know who was what, her behavior this week would have made me think she's a traitor. Because, like, the Ivar thing at breakfast, like going, I didn't notice you were there. It's like, that seems kind of sus. Like, that seems like an act. Like, I'm so dumb. How could I possibly be a traitor? And then turning to someone and going, I think he's like, okay, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's just like, the same. I feel like her and Danielle are playing the worst games, but Danielle sadly happens to be a traitor where Gabby's just playing a dumb game where she just looks chaotic for no reason.
I want Gabby recruited so bad.
Like, seeing a conversation with her in the turret, like she reminds me of, like, her delivery is like a young Jennifer Coolidge. Like, I'm really enjoying the flavor of her voice when she speaks. Like, having a serious conversation, the turret would be my Christmas. So, like, yes, please recruit her immediately.
Yeah, it's baby voice. But yes, we did it. We took out Rob and his aggressive entitlement that was choke holding this whole show. So,
and I appreciate him not, like, doing, like, a weird thing to kind of, like, point out the girls at the end. Like, I was actually waiting because I was like, I think he's a bit of a vindictive person, that he might do something to kind of expose them or just say something in his final speech that was a bit leading. But he was actually weirdly gracious and just kind of, like, went out, and I was just like, oh, and, like, it kind of made me go, oh, he actually played a really good game in the end.
He
like,
played a really good game.
Yeah, like, he did really, like, he played messy to a point where he made it very clear he was just going after people that were going after him. But then he still, the way he convinced everyone throughout all these weeks and kept himself here for that long, I was like, actually, I do respect you to a degree, even though you angered me so much for a few weeks.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. Like, a tiger can't change its straps. It's still, and Boston Rob getting booked to be on a show, like, he gave the fans what they wanted, which was big Boston Rob energy. But I too thought he was going to be stroppy on the way out, but he wasn't, and that impressed me. He was just kind of like, but do you know what he did do? I thought a little bit. I feel like he downplayed the game a bit because he didn't win or come near the end. So I feel like he tried to make the game itself seem, because he said something like, oh, this was a bit of fun. So he said something along the lines of, oh, this was a little bit of fun. I'm like, but if you won, you would have been like, this is the hardest game ever, and I won,
Yeah, I don't think the format fitted him. Like, he didn't like that. He couldn't just play his aggressive self and get away with it. Like, that's, So I don't think he would ever win a Traitor style show. And I think he realized that in the end. And to your point, was trying to play it down as like a silly game.
This was the fun thing I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think he did good, but you're right. There's no, you need to be a bit stealthier. And he just couldn't do that. But he didn't turn it on the girlies. I think he does actually have a bit of loyalty, but fuck me, he burnt Danielle in the confessional. He was like, Carolyn, I would have worked with. Danielle, she's a dumb bitch. Like, he literally was just like, she sucks. I was like, whoa.
It would be hard. Like, it would make it so difficult to, like, have those turrets or talk about stuff, because to be honest, like, he was going after people that Danielle was aligned with, but every time he said something in that turret, Carolyn would be quiet, which was annoying. But then Danielle would be like, no. And it's just like, it's almost impossible to play with someone like that. Because, like, she never was really even, like, throwing out names to be like, why don't we do this for this reason? It was kind of just her just saying no to Boston Rob the entire time. So I can imagine from his perspective, he's just, like, banging his head against the wall, like, going, like, how do I play this game?
Yeah. Do you believe him when he said, I would have actually taken Carolyn to the end and been loyal, because I don't think I do.
I think he would have taken Carolyn to the end to betray her at the end. Like, I don't doubt he wouldn't have minded playing the game with her as like a survivor person, but he is just such a narcissist that he would have wanted to take the money for himself. So he would have thrown her under the bus at the end. But I do believe he would have worked with her to get to the end. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely. But it was not meant to be. And then we get the fucking camp as fuck coffin speeches. Heaven.
I love the drama of this church. Like, just, again, Emmys for this. Like, it was just so beautifully shot, so beautifully styled, and it just looked great. Dolores' speech, phenomenal. Like, I wish we saw more dramatic speeches from her on New Jersey. Like, this was very much like that finale episode of the latest season, you know, when she was all in the black, like sitting there at the
rails.
Railway, rails with all the glasses smashed, just like drama of that like mafia kind of like mob wives like moment, just like great from her.
And she said something like, "I'm just getting started."
Yeah, traitors, you better kill me because I'm coming for you. I'm like, you've been going for Tom Sandoval, who's a dumbass. Like, you're not even near the mark, but I appreciate the theatrics.
I think Danielle and Carolyn, our traitor girlies, would be smart to keep her because she is the only remaining housewife, and you could use that later on because it is actually good evidence later on to be like, well, why are you still here? Every other housewife got murdered. Oh,
absolutely. And so I also have to say, Gabby looked amazing at this. That's funny. Great look from her.
So who's it between? It's like Tom, Gabby, Dolores, Chriselle, and Dylan, I believe.
Yeah, and they Carolyn's technically up, but obviously she's going to go in and kill someone. So.
Yeah. Because Carolyn didn't even get a coffin moment, did she?
No, well, because I think they would have been filmed separately. They can't. Like, they all filmed separately, so they can't know. So I think that works. But I wish we got it.
It would have been funny. I would have her being like, Carolyn.
She also would have looked great in like a like lovely wedding outfit with her tats out and everything. Her, sorry, also her bows and her hair at the beginning of this episode as well. She looked crazy. But
there's like a bird in there. The bird just flies out. Yeah.
Oh, I do really enjoy her though. So, who do you think they're going to kill?
Well, Tom, only based off that reaction shot, but that could be something else. They could be misdirecting us. I think it's dumb because Tom's getting votes on him, so keep him around.
Yeah, exactly. But it looks like the other thing they could probably argue is that he looks like a traitor killer now. So they get rid of him just because if people believe he's faithful, but he's still catching strays from Dolores and Chriselle. So possibly Dylan could also, because because he's so, but he's also so off the mark as well. Maybe you do just keep him. So.
And so it's funny though. It's actually a hard one. I'd probably want to get rid of Ivar, or Sam, but they're not up for.
I know. I wish they were going, but also the thing is, we were talking about how many men were on the show. There is 4 left now, and I'm pretty sure another one's going to go. And we're going to be left with 3, so it's going to be a girls' castle after this episode, which I'm quite excited to watch.
Oh, yeah. Let the games finally begin properly
and drop Dorinda back in. She didn't have a good go. Yeah, just pop her back. Do you know what? Even just have her as standing next to Alan, helping out with the house and stuff like that. She can just lady of the manor.
Why not? They've got that little dog. It'd be so great if Dorinda just was seen pottering around the house, just
woman of the grounds. Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Oh.
I was going to say, I'm happy with where we're at now. I was a couple of weeks ago, I was like, this needs to end. I can't stand it. But somehow it's literally done a complete 180 in the past 2 episodes. And I think we've gotten to a good place.
Oh, I'm loving it. It feels like a moment in time. I love everyone's watching it. Everyone's talking about it. It's good. It's keeping me hooked.
Beautiful. I can't wait for next week. R.I.P. Tom Sandoval, I think, sadly.
Could be. Well, I will see you next week.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.